Hello everybody, this is me, Amin.
This is Alex.
And welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About. And in this episode, we're going to talk about Tesla. No, we're going to talk about specifically the BYD Seal. And is the BYD Seal the Tesla killer? Jang, jang, jang. So we've been away for quite a while. And while we were away, actually a lot of cars have been launched.
Yep.
So today is, what's the date today? Today is the Thursday, 7th of March. And as of the day of recording, we have the BYD Seal, we have the MG4, MGZS, or ZS, sorry. And then we have the Aura 7.
That's just a preview. Haven't launched yet, but it's going to be happening this month.
So all within this quarter. It's
Yep.
only the first 3 months of 2024.
And also the GAC Y Plus, which is an interesting mini MPV, which is going to be less than 200K or so.
Oh yeah, you had a first hands-on look at
Yep.
that car, and I think you said that the car had like a lot of space.
Yes, loads of space. And also not forgetting
Yep.
the Cherry Armada E5.
That's also launched.
Yes, so that's like a BYD Atto 3 competitor.
And interestingly enough, if I'm not, okay, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm not mistaken, all these cars, right? So the Tesla Model 3, the BYD Seal, Aura 07, the MG4, not the ZS, the MG4.
Yep.
And then we have the, what else am I missing?
The Aura 07.
Okay, I mentioned that already.
And then the GAC Y Plus. Yep.
Okay, all of that, if I'm not mistaken, will be within the 200,000 ringgit
Yep.
price range.
200,000 ringgit, yes.
Now, why are we saying why are people saying the BYD? Okay, first of all, maybe we should talk about what is this BYD Seal and why is it so good?
Okay, I think first off is that when Tesla was launched in Malaysia, right, with a starting price of less than 200,000 ringgit, it's like, oh my God, suddenly you get so much performance for less than 200,000 ringgit. Suddenly you feel like, now everything else just feels overpriced.
Yes, everything is overpriced.
Yeah, because back then, 200,000 ringgit, what can you get? You can get like a Hyundai Kona, which has 200 horsepower and it's quite small. But now you can get like a proper sedan, a proper MPV.
What do you mean
SUV.
by a proper sedan?
Like a proper sedan, like a 4-door
It's a
sedan.
sedan.
Yeah, I mean sedan size, because most of the time you get like, huge SUVs or performance sedans and all that. So those are like 400,000, 500,000 ringgit.
Okay,
So now the EVs has reached a more attainable price range for more people in Malaysia. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. So when Tesla announced the price, we covered it and we saw a lot of comments on Facebook saying that, hey, everything's overpriced.
Yes.
That's why we should buy Tesla. Tesla is the best. Tesla has no middleman. Everything is online, easy, blah, 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 blah. So, okay, the ownership experience of a Tesla, I think that is a topic for another episode of Let's Talk About. But yeah, at that time, although I have my opinions about Tesla and Tesla fans, I feel that, yes, it is quite hard to beat. 189,000 is a competitive price even for ICE vehicles, right?
Yes.
So to get that performance, to get the technology and the equipment that you get in a Tesla for that price is amazing. Now, 8 months after the launch of Tesla comes this onslaught of cars from China.
Yes.
And globally, BYD is already number one in terms of electric vehicle sales. Whether you like it or not, Tesla fanboys, that is the fact, and that's the number. And many people are saying the BYD Seal as the Model 3 killer. So why do they say that? And why is BYD so good?
I think number one is that I think BYD has, in a short period of time, right, has solidified its position as, the EV for the people. They have a very value for money proposition. You get good specs, you get a lot of space. It's easy to drive. You try to ease the transition from ICE to EV in the sense that, like the throttle response, like when you drive the car, it doesn't feel like a rocket ship. It's not so shocking. So, and also they'll have quite a variety of products because you have the Atto 3, an SUV, which is very popular among Malaysians. And then they also introduced the BYD Dolphin, an entry-level EV hatchback, which is actually well-spec for about 100,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
And now they release a higher-end version for someone who wants more performance and like the form factor. So you have the BYD Seal. And it was launched far lower than what people expected, because people are saying that, oh, the BYD Seal will going to cost more than Tesla. They can't beat Tesla in terms of pricing. And they surprised a lot of people, including us, because the BYD Seal, the long range version, starts at 179,000 ringgit.
Wow, that undercuts the Model 3 by 10,000 ringgit. And I have to say
20,000 ringgit.
20,000 ringgit.
Yes.
And I have to say the Model 3 base model does not come with all of the things that come as standard in the BYD Seal.
And the BYD Seal, the base spec model, actually it's not the base spec. Here is middle range, because there's supposed to be 3 models.
Yep.
The base spec, they didn't even launch in Malaysia. They launched the long range version, essentially with a big battery and then
Single motor
with 308 horsepower, and that's going for 179,000 ringgit. And yeah, it's quite a good deal.
If you ask me that question, why is BYD so good? Right? I think BYD is like the Xiaomi of EVs. It's cheap and it's good. So we've driven the Atto 3, we've driven the Dolphin. Chapri, our EV editor, has bought a Dolphin. I think a few people also is looking into getting the Dolphin. It's not. I mean, for that price and what we heard from the market, also like a lot of people who are considering a 100,000 to 130,000 ringgit car. It doesn't matter whether it's an EV or whether it's a ICE car. They go like, hey, I'm just gonna go for an EV. So a lot of people jumped to BYD. And also, I think the recent numbers for this year. So the recent vehicle sales number, BYD is the only dedicated EV manufacturer that's on the top 20 list of vehicle models sold in Malaysia. I think that's amazing. So, and I today, if I'm not mistaken, I think they issued a release, I think early this week, to say that they've already gotten like a booking of over 1,300 bookings for the Seal.
Yeah.
And they did the same number for the Atto 3, if I'm not mistaken, or the Dolphin. So a lot of people are just sweeping up and getting the BYD.
Yep, even last year alone, BYD is number 1 in Malaysia. It was confirmed by MITI, Tengku Zafrul. So he said that BYD Seal is number 1. My second report saying that they had 37 or 38% market share, followed closely by BMW. So that's how much they have grown. As a newcomer, suddenly become number 1 in EV in Malaysia.
To like from an unknown brand, right? Yeah. Okay, so we talk about BYD, but why is Tesla so good?
I think Tesla, the thing is, they are synonymous with EV. It's like, think of toothpaste, think about Colgate. Think about EV, think of Tesla. Because, like it or not, Tesla is the company that actually started it all, make EV mainstream. And because of them, other brands then they see, okay, you know what, there's potential EV. And only then the rest start to take EV seriously. That's the way I see it. And because Tesla started journey like about 10 years ago, so people were a bit skeptical. I think a lot of companies initially invested in them, and after they sold off their shares, and now I guess they start kicking themselves in the backsides for doing so. So yeah, so I would say that Tesla is the one who really start pushing EV to the mainstream, and that's as a result, other brands start to take notice and start to level up the game in EV. And of course, the thing about Tesla is not just about the cars, but also the ecosystem, like we mentioned earlier, because in terms of the software and all that, because a lot of ICE cars, right, they can just do an EV, just change the combustion engine to electric motor with the electric drivetrain, and then let it go. But of course, that's not a complete thing, because we've seen a lot of cars, right, while they have very powerful motors, but they're not great in terms of UI, the ecosystem. There's a lot of things. So I think that's where Tesla shines. But of course, there are some things that we don't like about Tesla. I think we all know it, because I think like Tesla's belief is like, the best part is no part. So as we've seen with the Tesla Model 3, one of the big annoyances is that there's no indicator stocks, there's no gear selector, there's a lot of things that's missing that feels so wrong, right? It should be illegal.
Does the Malaysian version have ultrasonic sensors?
The Model 3, which I saw where I drove, doesn't have. It's fully optics. Yes.
Okay, I have my own opinion about Tesla. I want to apologize to people who have a Tesla or are really like fans of Tesla. It's just my opinion, okay? So don't get offended. I'm just saying, okay, what I feel. I think the cars are overhyped. To be honest, why I say that is because they don't have the gear lever.
Yeah, gear selector.
They don't have gear selector. They don't have indicator stocks, and then they're saying, "Oh, this is because it's better to not have those things. It's simpler. All I see, and they don't have ultrasonic sensors. They depend on optics and all that. All I see is just cutting costs.
Yeah, it's obvious cost cutting.
But they hype it like, oh, it's technology. It's the way of the future. I don't know why people buy. I mean, do you buy that? Do you believe in that? I mean, okay, you already know that it's
cost cutting. It's always cost cutting because
why do people believe in it?
I will say at the end of the day, it's because of the price. Despite all these shortcomings and obvious cost cutting measures, right? At that time, right, nothing else beat it in terms of price, performance, and ecosystem.
All right, ecosystem. Okay, the other thing I want to mention about ecosystem is I have to say this because I want to be fair, right? And you convinced me about this, because I thought like, oh, ecosystem is not a big deal because charging infrastructure in Malaysia, supercharger is the smallest in terms of footprint.
Yeah,
there's not enough supercharger. There's not a lot of superchargers in Malaysia compared to Gentari chargers, for example, or EVC or whatever it is. Having taken that into consideration, I have to say that the way to charge a Tesla is so much more easier than anything else that we've ever tested.
Yeah, even easier than
pumping petrol.
Pumping petrol, yes, exactly. It's because of their plug and charge system. So basically, everything is linked in software, right? So when you drive to a Tesla supercharger, this is in charger, you just pick up nozzle and plug it in, and it will do the rest because it knows you, it knows your car. So the moment you park there, right, they really can start talking to each other, and then everything just works seamlessly. So you share your car with your relatives or friends, not an issue because everything is just charged to your phone.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't have a Tesla, the normal way is you drive to the charger. You need to open an app,
install an app if you don't have one,
and then if your place has bad internet connection, you need to struggle. Oh no, I need to connect to Wi-Fi, and then which charger number to activate, and then sometimes it doesn't work. You need to unplug, replug back again. So that's where Tesla really excels.
Yes, so I want to say, and I agree. So the key word here is charging infrastructure easy. That's all in terms of ecosystem. I still think infrastructure, they're not that great. Charging speed. You wanted to say something?
Quantity is not that great because at the end of the day, if you own a Tesla in Malaysia, you want to drive long distance, you can't really depend on Tesla supercharger only because they're still building a network. It's still it's not sufficient enough for any long distance drive. Like you want to go to Kelantan, you want to go to Penang, all that. There's simply not enough superchargers, and most of them, you notice, they're located in shopping malls. Yeah, and we need these superchargers on interstate highways, which they have none.
Yeah, and why would you need superchargers in shopping mall? Because you're going to be there for at least an hour and you can supercharge in 15-30 minutes. So I don't understand the logic behind that. And I think we'll talk about all that in another episode because, we have the inside information and we know what's going on. And because every time what Tesla says to the people in the public is actually not what's going on in the back. So maybe we'll talk about that juicy tidbits later. And then infrastructure, if we're going outstation, going outside of Kuala Lumpur, going outside Klang Valley, or if you're Penang coming down to Kuala Lumpur, the number one most, I think, dependable network is Gentari.
Or Don't Charge.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Interstate, right? So, and okay, I'm sure the those who are Tesla fans. Again, I'm not labeling you guys or anything. If you believe they're good, they're good. That's good. That's fine. I just don't believe that they're good. And then you're gonna say they are going to they are expanding more. Like, oh, the number of superchargers that they have they are growing so fast. It's all hype. I only see a few malls. After that, there's no interstate. And then you talk about this other thing called destination charging, which is AC. Yep. That's not a lot either. They have not come out to commit how many chargers they're going to install and how much you're going to grow the charging infrastructure in Malaysia. Only so much that the government has dictated that 30% or 10% of the charging infrastructure
30%
must be open to other EV brands.
And they only target 50 fast chargers in 3 years since operation. So 50 is not that much.
It's nothing, to be honest. I mean, let's give credit to Gentari, Jom Charge EV, EVC. Yeah. They're putting out chargers left, right, and center. I mean, Gentari is probably the most visible charging operator in the country with I think over 1,000 chargers already.
No, about close to 400 charge points.
Charge points means the nozzles or the sites?
The charge points, because total in Malaysia, with all the operators, I think slightly more than 1,000. That's it.
Yeah, so that's way more than Tesla. So even if you're a Tesla owner, you have to depend on other chargers. And what I think is not fair is that, hey, how come Tesla can use other people's charger, but we, the non-Tesla EV users, we can't use Tesla chargers?
Yep.
That's the thing I don't think it's fair. And then also we talk about supercharging. Actually, Tesla's supercharger, while they say it can go 250 kilowatt, there are conditions that you have to meet, and most of the time you don't meet that condition. But again, I'll talk about all that maybe in another episode. So I want to come back to Alex saying that back then when Tesla was launched, before the BYD Seal, in terms of pricing, it was the most attractive.
Bang for buck. Performance, storage, space, everything.
Okay,
Yes.
now you come to today.
Yes.
It doesn't seem that attractive anymore, does it?
Yep.
Okay, why? I want to know. You've seen the Seal. I've not
driven
actually.
also,
Okay,
yeah.
You've seen and driven the Seal. I've not even seen it. I mean, I've seen it like in real life. I haven't really come close to it. So, is it? And then you've also tried the Model 3.
Yep.
Which one's better?
I would say in terms of the overall package of what the car offers, I would say the BYD Seal ticks all the boxes. But there's a
Whoa.
a few gripes that I wish that BYD has fixed. Yeah. Yes. Except a couple of things. Yeah.
Okay, let's go down the list.
First, the design. I think it looks better. It has more character. And in the front, especially, looks pretty cool. Looks a bit of Taycan-ish look to it, and it stands out. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, right, like Tesla, at the end of the day, we're going to see more Teslas on the road. It's going to be very common. So if you want something that looks different, the BYD Seal really stands out.
Yeah, Tesla looks really standard.
Yeah.
It looks like you know those delivery vans that you see running around Kuala Lumpur, like you know the Nissan, the small vans,
The NV200.
and V200 and the Grand Max. You see them everywhere.
You're not going to offend other people with that, right?
No, what I'm trying to say is, it's common.
You mean like white goods? Because, you know why,
Yes.
Because white is a free color. That's why you see a lot of white Teslas in Malaysia.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I
that's the
don't-
reason why. Because white is free, that's why people get white.
Yeah, I mean I get more looks in my EV6 than people get in the Tesla.
Of course, it's rare. In fact, EV6 is actually rarer than a BMW i7. You know, they sold
really? Wow.
they sold 600 units of BMW i7s in Malaysia. And there's only 150 units of the EV6 in Malaysia.
Oh wow.
So yeah, there you have it. Back to the BYD Seal. So in terms of interior, right, it looks, if you love the Dolphin and Atto 3, this one is much better. It looks more premium, it's more plush, there's more premium services. I like the fact that they have a mixture of suede, like leatherette, and even the hard plastics also, they're quite well textured. And most importantly, they have all the vital driving controls within reach, and they are there. Physical.
And their hardware.
Yes.
Yeah, they are physical, right?
Physical stocks for the scene indicator, and you also had the like a crystallized gear selector stub.
Yes, I love
Yes,
that.
yeah, that looks
Instead
nice.
of the rotary.
Yes.
So the two things. I prefer one that's like the Mercedes where you have the it's like a
Gear
signal
selector.
stock
Yep.
gear selector,
Yep.
or the small shifty
The stubby
crystal
thingy.
thing.
Yes.
Like maybe what you see in a Volvo, if I'm not mistaken. Some cars have
Volvo's
it.
a bit thicker, this a bit thinner.
Yeah,
so it's
I
kinda
like it because you
BMW.
can just flick it.
Yes, correct,
And it
yeah.
doesn't take that much space, and it's more intuitive than the rotary knob.
Yes, exactly. But the only, like I said, there's a few complaints that I don't like about the BYD Seal. Number one, you know the aircon vents? They've gone Tesla in the sense that you have the holes, but you cannot adjust the direction of the wind. So you need to go to touchscreen to adjust. But there are a couple of nifty features because you can set it to swing like your home aircon.
Yeah.
So you can do that. Yeah, but yeah, so those are the minor grab. And in terms of interior, as you expect from BYD, you got a rotating screen, but this is bigger, 15.6 inch in center.
Oh, that's huge.
That's huge. And then instrument cluster is actually bigger than what you get from the Dolphin Atto 3 because you have seen the BYD Atto 3, right?
Small.
The screen is so small. Even motorbikes have bigger screens than that. it's even smaller
My Oppo Fold is bigger than that.
Even iPhone mini screen is bigger than that. You know, it's that small. I think 5 inch. So this is much bigger. But of course, for me, the BYD, the UI, the skin, right, feels very like a Chinese UI. You know, it's kind of like it's
Android.
It's like Huawei EMUI like 5-10 years ago. I mean, it's functional. Nothing wrong with the function. Just that the looks of it, it could be more modernized. It could be much better. But that's about it. And also another one is that, well, because I had an opportunity to test drive it, typical for BYD is that the ADAS system can be very blaring. Sometimes
Yeah, it's over caring for you lah.
and then the noise it makes, like like it's like those sound theme pack from phones like
From
5,
Windows 95.
10, yeah, and then there's a lot of bits and bongs and all that, and then like it can be done with more finesse. So that's where I would say Tesla and Mercedes and BMW does better because you know they alert you
Only when you need to know.
Need to know,
Yes.
and then when they alert you, the chime it makes is actually more pleasant to hear.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so just like ding ding ding, even the signal light, you're like ding 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 ding. It just it's that's the only annoying bits lah.
Oh.
So that's something I will turn off, especially the speed limit warning. I think we're gonna turn it off.
How does it sound? Do we have it?
You watch our test drive video, so you can watch it by the time you see this video. You should see our first drive. So we have a BYD Seal first drive video. So check that on the channel. So yeah, so similar to the BYD, and also, but other than that, everything is fine. I mean, the performance is great. The range is good. Of course, it could be better.
The battery is huge.
The battery is huge. It's 82.5 kilowatt hour.
800 volts.
They didn't mention in Malaysia. Some say it's 800, but looking at charging speed, doesn't seem to be 800 volts.
Like it's not fully utilizing the 800 volts.
Yeah, because the BYD Seal, right, it can only support DC fast charging up to 150 kilowatts.
Oh, that's 100 less than Tesla. Tesla can do 250 kilowatts.
Yeah, and also
for 5 seconds.
and yeah, no, a few minutes, 5 minutes. And also and then the biggest bummer for the BYD Seal is the AC charging. For such a premium product
With a big battery.
with a big battery, it only supports a single phase 7
7.
kilowatt AC charging.
Yep.
Which is unacceptable. Even for an EV that costs 200,000
No,
bucks.
it's not unacceptable. You have to change. You have to reorient your mindset. It's not filling up the electrons like you're filling up petrol. You just top it up as you go along. So every time you find a charger, just plug it in and top it up.
Okay, here's the thing. Let's say you want to charge your full for empty, right? Normally for any EVs, right?
Nobody drives from to empty.
Okay, assuming you drive it empty. Let's say you drive really Kong empty, right? Like drive long distance, you come back home, right? Usually you just plug it up to your home charger. Next morning, it should be full. That's the general
But
expectation.
next morning you mean 8 hours. By next morning you mean about 8 hours.
Okay, 10 hours also can. 8
Wow.
hours or 10 hours, yeah.
Bangun lambat lah.
Anything, yeah. But this EV, right, at 7 kilowatts, right, it takes about 15 hours to charge it full. So if you wake up, let's say 8 hours, right, you need 2 nights of overnight charging. For this kind of car, right, I would expect at least minimum of 11 kilowatt 3-phase charging, you know.
Yeah. I agree. But okay, I'm gonna say this to you, right? So you mentioned the Tesla, the Seal looks better. Everything inside is better and everything. It sounds to me like that's more of a personal preference than...
No, it's not a preference. 7 kilowatts unacceptable. Would you buy a new flagship phone in Malaysia right now that has like 10 watt charging?
No, man.
Exactly.
I need to just plug in my phone and then in 5 minutes I have enough to take me to my next charger.
Exactly. I mean, you can have DC charging, but come on, AC, right, should at least 3-phase because it's not impossible because the BYD Seal is offered with 11 kilowatt in several Western markets. So why they can't have it here in Malaysia?
I know why. It's cost. I mean, when you have a 11 kilowatt onboard charger in a car, it's going to cost more. I don't know how much more it's going to cost, but it seems to me BYD feel that, hey, this is such a significant cost that they might not be able to deliver the car at the price that they want to compete with Tesla. That's what I feel lah.
Yep.
Now, all these things that you mentioned, so like it's inexcusable to have 11 kilowatt AC charging in a car that has what, 90 kilowatt hour, 82.5 kilowatt hour battery.
Yep.
That's big.
Yes,
It's bigger than a Tesla, bigger than our EV6. It's on average bigger than a lot of cars that's in EV cars in the country.
Yes.
So it's inexcusable.
Yep.
Then the question is, that's a big trade-off. Why not I just get a Tesla?
Again, a few things like number one is the way it makes you feel when you drive. Okay, in terms of BYD Seal, right, everything is where you want it to be. You have your proper controls with single stop, all that. And then for me personally, I think the interior looks nicer. Exterior wise, it looks more exciting than a Tesla. But Tesla looks very bland next to it.
Agree.
So those things I think matter more to me. And also most importantly, for the price that you're paying, right, the BYD Seal, the long range model, has more range than the base spec Model 3.
So we wrote in our website, the headline was, when Model 3 came out, it was the cheapest, longest range vehicle that EV you can get.
That's for the long range version. That's the 629 kilometers of range. That's on the Model 3 long range. That's price higher. I think 218,000 ringgit.
So now with the Tesla with the BYD Seal at 179,000, that's the long range, right?
Yeah, but it's of course still less than Tesla. It's about 570 kilometers on WLTP. It's less than Tesla, but for the money you save, right? I mean, it's no brainer.
How much less?
629 to 570. It's about maybe 40 kilometers.
Okay, there's also a caveat. Again, I'm not defending BYD here, and again, I'm not attacking Tesla here. But from what we know, from our testing and what we've been reading, it seems like Tesla is overclaiming their range by quite a significant margin.
But,
right?
but I feel that, no, but the thing is, the BLT should be standardized. And number one, and then number two is...
No, they are based on EPA, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but these numbers is on the website. They're based on WLTP. And at the same time, is that the reason why I believe that Tesla can go further is because the weight. Because the BYD Seal, the long range version, it weighs, the curb weight, right? Basic curb weight without the passengers inside is over 2 tons. And on the Tesla, it's only 1.8 tons. So it's about 200 kilos.
That's
lighter.
a lot of difference.
Yes.
Because of the battery.
Yes, the battery. And of course, another one is that I'm pretty sure BYD with their casting and all that, whatever, what hypercasting, whatever, and also their cost-cutting measures, they try to reduce weight. Obviously, it's going to be lighter. So, yeah.
The only way to find out is to test them head-to-head.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can arrange for something.
Yeah. For me, I think I can't wait to try out the Tesla long range to put the claims to the test. Can it really deliver more than 600 kilometers? Which I think it could, because the BYD Seal and the Tesla Model 3 surprisingly shares the same drag coefficient of 0.219.
0.22.
Yeah.
Which is
slightly lower than the
Porsche.
Ion 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you don't like about the Tesla? About the Seal.
Nothing too. I think for the price range, right, it's hard to fault it. Only these two things, the aircon vents that doesn't have the manual vents, but I think it's just minor gripe, and the charging, the AC charging, because if you go a long distance, of course, sure you get DC fast charging, but if you want to stretch your ringgit, of course the most obvious choice is to AC charge at a hotel, you leave it overnight, but. Looking at this spec, right, you're going to stay overnight in a hotel. One night you can even charge your full if it's empty. So that's the minor gripe.
Yeah, I mean, again, I keep telling people, guys, when people come to me and say, hey, EV is a problem because I can charge at I can fill up at a petrol station in like 5 minutes. Yes, it's correct. That is correct. But this is the caveat I keep telling people. Can you go to a mall to fill up your petrol? You can't. If you need to fill up your petrol, you have to detour. You or find a mall that's on the way, or find a petrol station that's on the way, and that takes time.
Yeah.
For an EV, let's say if you want to go to KLCC or what other mall that has a good charging infrastructure?
A lot. I mean, you got Pavilion, you have Mid Valley, you got Wang Utama, you got Shopping Galaxy Mall.
So most of the major
Pyramid.
malls have it, right? So let's say I want to go to Sami Pyramid from my house. I need to top up. I don't have to stop at the petrol station.
Yeah.
I just go to Pyramid. There's a parking available for me. I just charge and I go have my lunch, go watch my movie. When I come back, it's already done.
Yep.
So we have to shift our mindset a bit. It's no longer, we have to think we're driving an EV is no longer like driving a car. It liberates you. It allows you to do so much more.
Yep.
Especially with V2L and stuff like that. So, okay, coming back to Seal, what are the standout features? Does it have V2L?
It has V2L. I believe it's 3 kilowatts, similar to the BYD Atto 3. Another thing is that it also has a panoramic glass roof.
Without
sun blinds.
Without cover,
Yeah, so that's the thing that we complain about the Tesla Model 3.
Yes.
And it's the same issue here at the Seal. But
how much does the cover cost? So they sell the cover separately, right?
I'm not sure, but...
Or does it come with the car?
I'm not too sure, but I believe it might come with the car because one of the test cars, right, I go to the booth, there's actually like a bag with the cover inside already. So I think it might be included for free. Even if not, you can just buy it from Taobao. But at the end of the day...
How much does it cost?
I have no idea.
Okay, so let's assume it's provided for free.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't know how much it costs. Tesla
one is about,
official one?
I think it's about $700.
Official one is 700.
Yeah.
I thought it's much more than that.
I think no mistake, $700. Yeah.
So Tesla does make a
official blind.
official cover for their roofs, glass roofs, but they don't provide it to you for free.
Yes, you must buy. Oh, but yes. Just saw it. Glass roof sunshade. 570. Sorry, $570.
Then because the Tesla fans will say, of course they can't provide everything to you for free because that's why it's cheap. Now I want to come back to this. So the Seal, it has autonomous driving level 2, right?
Level 2
standard, right?
Yep.
ADAS, everything, all is standard, right?
Yep.
All that you have to pay extra in a Tesla, correct?
No. Tesla is autopilot bundle for free. Autopilot, right? Which a lot of people think, it's amazing. Actually, it's level 2 semi-autonomous driving.
Yeah, you have to
which
pay
is
extra
standard.
for that, right?
No, it's free.
What's the 10,000 ringgit extra you have to pay for?
16,000. That's the enhanced autopilot. That comes with the overtaking assist.
Which, okay.
Yeah, and then you pay another level more, the 32,000 ringgit for FSD, which you can't use in Malaysia yet.
Doesn't even
work.
Even where it works, it doesn't work.
And another thing that the BYD Seal has is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support.
Wireless?
Yes, wireless. Wireless for Android Auto, surprisingly. Just for Android Auto's wireless.
Because they have to pay extra for CarPlay.
CarPlay is wired.
Yep.
And you can't use this on the Teslas. Yeah. So if you want to use Waze on Tesla, you can't. You need to have a phone holder to use Waze.
I think you have a Waze app or something in the Tesla thing.
No.
So what's the navigation is
they have their own built-in navigation. They use Google Maps, but what I heard is that it's not as good as the real Google Maps. Yeah.
So you have to have a phone holder. You can't even
mirroring all that.
You can't even do that, right?
I think some people do it as a workaround, but it's not officially supported.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you had, I guess you already answered this question, right? So if you had the money, 200,000 ringgit,
Yep.
which one would you get?
I go for a BYD Seal long range.
What is the performance of the performance model? So how much is the performance model?
The performance model is 199,000 ringgit.
Yo, it's less than 200,000.
Yeah, and then that car
It's dual motor, all-wheel drive.
can do 0 to 100 in 3.8 seconds. Faster than the Tesla, by the way. The Tesla long-range model does it in 4.4 seconds. Of course, Tesla has another secret weapons case coming out soon. The Model 3 Performance or Plaid or Lucrece mode. That's not yet launched. So
Yeah, but that's not. We don't even know whether that's coming to Malaysia.
They will definitely come to Malaysia later on, but which means that
And we don't know how much it's going to price.
It's definitely going to cost much more because the long range version right now for Tesla is already 218,000 ringgit. So I reckon that's going to cost at least. I reckon that's going to cost at least 250 or higher.
Baik beli BYD.
Yeah,
But you know what? Electric vehicles can go fast, right? But whatever electric vehicle you drive, right? Whether it's a Tesla, Porsche, an Audi, I've driven it all. It's actually not so fun to drive hard.
Why?
It's heavy and it doesn't want to corner well.
Here's a surprising thing because I test drove the BYD Seal, right? And I must say, during the corners, right, I don't really feel the weight. I did mention that I think this is actually much better to drive than the EV6 because the corners don't really feel the weight.
Okay, I drove the Audi e-tron GT RS at Sepang, and that car has four-wheel steering and air suspension. I really enjoy driving the car. I think the car is a rocket. It goes stupid fast, stupid easy. It's like it's just unbelievable how fast and how quickly you can get up to speed in that car. But I just didn't enjoy driving it at all. It's the steering. There's no feel in the steering. It doesn't want to corner. It doesn't want to change direction because of the weight. And I find it hard to believe that a car that doesn't have four-wheel steering, that doesn't have air suspension or dynamic suspension can feel better than that.
Maybe it won't be as good as an actual ICE car because of the weight, but this one, I would say, is much better than what I expect.
Okay, I'm quite curious.
You should try it out, the BYD Seal Performance.
I'm quite curious. Once if we do get a test drive unit, and we're gonna go and check it out.
Yep.
We are, if you're interested, getting smart performance version soon to test. Smart #1
Brabus, yeah.
Brabus. I forgot what it's called. Yeah. So again, even that one, we are discussing on whether it's just super fast, but really not dynamically rewarding to drive at all.
Yeah, and whether is it deserving of the Brabus badge?
Yes, so that's something for us to find out. So stay tuned on our website and our content on YouTube, on social media for that review. So you mentioned that you're going to buy the Seal, right? So is the Seal a Tesla Model 3 killer?
I would say that for the total package and for the amount that you're paying, this is better value. In terms of usability, I think this is better. As I mentioned, that you've all the critical vital car controls where you want them to be. If you share this car in your family, I think your family members and friends can get used to it easily. It's easy to drive, you know. And then, I mean, there's no.
It looks good.
It looks good. Yeah, it looks good as well. Of course, the only thing that's lacking, I would say, like I mentioned, is the charging. But again, that's a problem that can be managed. It's not really like the end of the world. You can manage it like what you mentioned. You
just
trickle
change
charge.
your mindset.
Just trickle charge once a while. Don't wait until really empty. But of course, when you really went to empty, like for example, you go on this trip, that's when you might struggle a bit. But it's not the end of the world. And another thing is that buying a BYD will be much more pleasant than buying a Tesla.
Yes. Okay, you mentioned that. I wanted to say, so Tesla 189. Where do they save the money from? Oh, they don't have a dealer network. No need to pay the service center. All that one is all overhead costs. You know, that's why they don't have to pay all that. And then all the savings is given to you, the consumer. That's why the price is 189,000 ringgit for the base model.
The critical one is there's no sales advisor.
No sales advisor. No need to pay commission.
You pay online. And the thing about Tesla is when you pay online, right? Okay, normally when you buy a car, you put like a deposit, right? Tesla doesn't call it a deposit booking fee. It's called an order fee. So you pay 1,000 ringgit, right? That doesn't go to the price of the car. That's separate on top of the price of the car. And you pay that 1,000 ringgit. And what do you get? You have to do everything yourself.
Yes.
If you need to sell your
register,
car,
loan.
Yes, loan, everything. You need to go yourself, transport, everything. You need to do everything yourself. Whereas for
wait, that's where they let you save that's where Tesla save money. So the cost is all to you. Then if you're smart, you can save money. You can save money by saving on transport. It's independent. That's why Tesla is good.
What do you mean by saving transport? You're doing the transport.
Yeah, you save the money there because if you can transport yourself, you save the money. Or you have friend to tow the car for you, you save the money.
You pay $1,000. Other cars don't pay $1,000. Other car
the 1,000 baht is to make sure the car arrive, it's nice, wash all clean for you, nice number plate stick for you, like that lah.
I don't get it.
No, what I'm trying to say is, people say that because you don't have the middleman and everything, that's how Tesla save money and give the savings to you. Now, to your point, what I'm trying to say is, and I'm just trying to make it over-exaggerate. I'm just trying to over-exaggerate. To your point, BYD has a pretty good network, has salespeople, has service center, has good tech support, and they take trade in and everything.
Yeah, the salesman, basically traditional salesman. Like,
yes,
it's
the traditional car selling model.
Yes.
To a point where they even sell service packages.
Yep.
That is optional, by the way. So if you're wondering whether you should get what's this called? Service packages. It's all optional, so don't worry about it. You don't have to get it. The warranty is still activated. Yep. You don't have to pay any more extra than the 179 that you already have.
Yep.
Now coming to my point is, even with all that, the the BYD Seal is 20,000 ringgit cheaper than the cheapest Tesla.
Yep.
So what? What's your defense now? What is your logic now? Tesla is not investing in the country. They're doing nothing.
Oh, they do. What? They invest in charging network. What? That's what they all say. What?
They're not paying for the charging network, man. The charging network is all paid by the people that are installing it. Anyway, so again, that will be like another topic for another day. If you want to know, let us know in the comment section below. I think we're done. Anything else you want to talk about? And okay, here's a tougher choice for you. Okay, you already say you're gonna get the Seal, right? EV6, Seal. Which one would you get?
No brainer, BYD Seal. You save more than 100,000 bucks. Hey, you're talking about a car that's cost 320,000 to 100,000. It's a huge difference, man. It's like almost 2 times the car.
Oh, that hurts. Oh yeah, the truth sucks, man.
Yeah,
but oh man, the EV6 looks good. 800 volts.
Correct. I mean, yeah, it has faster charging.
Better V2L.
Yeah, better V2L. But the thing is, the price gap is crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. It's crazy. No, the EV6.
And the BYD Seal,
the
high performance model, 3.8 seconds.
Again, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, speaking of
what's the top speed?
Top speed is 180 km per hour.
EV6 190.
Yeah. But pandu laju nak ke mana? And then another thing is, speaking of 3.8 seconds, right? The BYD Seal is not even the cheapest car that can do 3.8 seconds.
What is the cheapest car they can do?
So
MG4.
yes, MG4.
Top power.
So MG is a new brand
Yes.
that's re-entered Malaysian market. So MG is like a British brand, but now it's owned by SASC.
They go out of the Malaysian market, they became Chinese, and then they came back.
Yeah. So basically, SASC brought them in. So they brought in this MG4. So MG4 is like a compact hatchback. It's like a BYD Dolphin competitor, and it also starts from 104,000 ringgit. And the interesting part is that they introduced like a soup up X Power. But of course, you look at writing, it looks like Tak Power, but it's X Power.
It's called X Power. MG4 X Power.
Yeah, and that car can do like 400 over horsepower, 600 newton meters of torque in the small hatchback format, and can do 0 to 100 in 3.8 seconds. And the estimated price is 160,000 ringgit.
I want to come to this, right? Yes, EVs can go stupid fast, but that's not all of it.
Of course, yes, but it's 3.8 seconds.
I remember, it doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't matter because I remember, there's more fun in cars that don't have a lot of power, but just so fun.
Yeah.
Like a Kancil Turbo.
Kalisa.
Kalisa.
Yes.
Not a lot of power, but it's so much fun to drive.
Yeah.
MX-5, not much power,
Yep.
just a 1.8 NA engine.
Yep.
So much fun to drive. Okay, we'll talk about that maybe in another episode. Viewers, you let us know if you want to talk about whether it's even safe to drive to let people drive cars that are crazy powerful.
Even like less powerful car people do stupid things with it, really. Right.
Like my V. My V is so less
if you
power,
know.
but so much fun to drive.
Yeah.
But oh my god, that's such a bombshell. But it's true. I mean, I don't know, man. EV6 looks much better. Interior much better.
Yes.
Except for the flip-flop screen. I think the flip-flop screen is kind of cool in the Seal.
Yeah,
In all the BYDs.
Yeah, and also to add on that, because we try a lot of EVs, right? In terms of practicality, the car features and all that, in terms of usability-wise, right? I think Hyundai and Kia nailed it. In terms of car controls, everything's in the steering wheel. Nothing's hidden in the center console, on the touchscreen. Everything's right there, like regen, distance control, autonomous emergency, adaptive cruise control. The controls is more logical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing that Hyundai Kia has.
Yeah. But I have to say, the Seal is looking really attractive for the price and for what it's being offered. And I'm amazed because imagine if this wasn't an EV. Imagine if it's an ICE with the same specifications. You'd pay north of 300,000 for this.
Yes.
Back then. So it's amazing what BYD is doing. Maybe the Tesla fans can say it's because Tesla priced the car so low. Now all the other brands are pricing their car low. You might be right.
I think that's
I'll
great,
give you guys that. Yep.
Competition is great, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
good.
the result. Yeah.
And then we come back to the question whether this is going to be a Tesla killer. So, the numbers, global numbers, BYD is selling more EVs than Tesla anyway.
But I need to clarify that in terms of the actual exact models, the Tesla Model Y is still the best-selling model in the world. It's kind of like comparing Samsung and Apple. Samsung might be the number one phone makers because they sell loads of models from cheap to medium to expensive.
Yep.
But iPhone still dominates in terms of the most popular models because, in sheer quantity alone, for individual models, Apple still reigns supreme.
Okay, is it the same as if I compare it like this, right? So let's say I'm Pepsi and all I do is just sell Pepsi, the soft drink, just one soft drink, Pepsi, right? And then there's Coca-Cola. Imagine lah, okay? This is assumption. Then Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola sells Coca-Cola, sells Fanta, sells some other
brands.
juices and sell water and all that.
Yeah.
So they are the number one drinks seller in the world. They sell more drinks than Pepsi.
Yep.
But Pepsi is the number one number one soda seller in
Is
the
it?
world. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
that's the
that.
assumption because
Yeah.
if you only sell that one thing.
Yeah, exactly. Correct. It's like iPhone now, because iPhone they only have handful of models and all flagships.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in between. So in sheer quantity alone, you're the number one model.
Yeah.
But in terms of sheer volume for the whole brand, then that's where Samsung leads.
Yeah.
The example. Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to answer the question we started with today is the BYD Seal a Tesla killer? At least in this room, I would say yes.
Yep.
Yeah. But we want to come back to this, right? So I think we had the discussion before, Alex. When people start labeling whether something is a killer of something, right? That is kind of like defeats the purpose, because you mentioned it just now. Competition is good.
Yep.
And you don't want to kill your competition. You want to compete with the competition, because at the end of the day, whether Tesla people want to kill all EVs or whether BYD Seal wants to kill a Tesla Model 3, that's not going to benefit any of us.
Yep.
Because there are some people, no matter the pros and cons or no matter the price, they would like to get a Tesla. There are some people, no matter the pros and cons, no matter the price, they don't want to get a Tesla.
Yep.
Or they want to get an EV, but it has to be a Mercedes, for example. Or they want an EV, but it has to have certain criteria. So like me, I need 800 volt, I need blah, 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 all that stuff. So that's why I got what I got. So at the end of the day, I think job well done to Tesla to bringing down the price, and job well done to BYD for meeting the challenge and being able to deliver a car that undercuts Tesla and deliver similar or if not better quality.
Yep. And also I would say that if Tesla didn't launch in Malaysia, I reckon that BYD Seal might not be as cheap as this. They could just sell at 250k or 300k because they are unbeatable for the price range.
Yeah.
So it's good that we have more competition, more options, and most recently we're seeing more cheaper EVs entering the Malaysian market
With more capabilities.
and there's priced under 200,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
A case in point, a few days before we record this session, Chery launched the Armada 5, Armada E5.
Is it called E-Moda now?
Omoda. It starts with Omoda.
Even
E5.
the EV is Omoda, not the E-Moda.
Omoda's a brand.
Oh.
You don't change the brand because of the model.
EQS?
It's still Mercedes-Benz. So back to point. Omoda Chery. This is Chery's Omoda E5, right? They launched it at 146,000 ringgit. So that's cheaper than the BYD Atto 3 standard range model. But you have the range of the standard model. So 430 kilometers for an SUV that's cost 146,000. And the very next day, BYD announced, okay, special promotion. Now you can get the BYD Atto 3 standard model from 129.
Yo.
See? So at the end, the consumer wins.
Yeah. So that's good. I mean, yeah. No. Okay, what I want to say is No. What I'm trying to say, yeah. The government have to stop this silly rule where tax incentives only for cars above 100,000.
Yep. But I think the intention is to give Proton and Perodua time to release an EV that's affordable. And Proton has already teased that they're going to launch two EV models in the coming years. So that'll be interesting. So not sure which Geely model they're going to rebatch as a Proton. So it'll be interesting to see this space, to see more options priced less than 100,000 ringgit.
All right, on that bombshell, I think that's pretty much it for today's show. Good discussion as always. If you want to listen to us, we are also available on podcast. So just search Let's Talk About and we're there. You can listen to us in your EV, and you can be more informed about what's going on in the market. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section below. If you're watching us on YouTube, we're more than happy to see what you have to say. We always read them. Sometimes we don't have the time to reply to all of them, but it does provide feedback for us to come up with ideas for the next show and talk about things that you want to know about. That's pretty much it. If I haven't done this for a while, so I forgot. So if you like the show, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And if you're listening to us on podcast, please do give us a 5-star rating, because that helps spread the show to more listeners, and that helps us. So thank you for helping us. And that's pretty much it.
If you want to leave us a voice note,
yes, if you'd like to leave us, for our podcast listeners, if you'd like to leave us a voice note of your thoughts and comments, drop them at
Let's Talk About at soyachinchao.com.
Yep. And that's pretty much it. This is me, Amin.
This is Alex.
Catch you guys later.
Bye.